call us, text us. Kaieteur Radio 99.1, 99.5 FM, the Wake Up Guyana Show. Hello there, good afternoon, welcome once again. It's Christmas week right here, and we are celebrating it in a big way down in Kaieteur Radio on Saffron Street, Charleston. And I hope that wherever you are, whatever it is that you're doing, that you are feeling that festive spirit. I am feeling it. The traffic, of course, is a killer's normal. Don't you dare use that back road, that Mandela Avenue area. If you're coming down from the East Bank of Demerara, try to find some shortcut or something. It's been a killer for the last 2 days. I was caught there yesterday. Today, try to stay away with it. And I must say, I will be calling out the traffic officers there and, of course, the traffic chief and the commissioner of police. Make sure that they get down to the back road. Whoever the contractor is on that Mandela Avenue contract there for the road improvements work, I think it's the Chinese, I think China Import or whoever it is. They're doing a horrible job on that. And so we need to get that fixed. I'm not sure who is paying attention while they're checking the front door around by the Mandela Avenue, the La Penitence area there, the Mandela Avenue, somebody's not doing a good job at it there, and so they need to do something better, or else the next couple of days it's going to be a true nightmare. Traffic is not moving. If it does, the madness that's been coming from the people who were overtaken, undertaken, and so on. All kinds of things happen in there. Around the La Penitence area, there are some bottlenecks if you're hitting into the Lombard Street area. So just be careful. If you can, please avoid it. If you don't have to come to Georgetown, you could try to do that in the evening. If it's for, if you got to do shop some vegetables and so on, try to do that. But it is a killer right now along these bank and that Mandela Avenue area. And Georgetown, everybody seems to be doing some last minute shopping. So we are going to get right down to it. It is the Wake Up Guyana Show right here on Kaieteur Radio with your host Leonard Gildarie, and we are in the Christmas week, just about 4 more days after today, and we are on Christmas Day. In the meantime, it's a whole Christmas season, lots of Christmas songs being played. People seem to be having, after a very tough year, there seem to be a level of excitement in the air, which is a good thing, which is what we would have been saying. Do not allow yourself to be despondent, do not allow yourself to be pressured, and yes, lots of money not circulating like before, but we Guyanese do happen to have some kind of spirit which gives us that ability to enjoy ourselves with the little that we have, and that's what we need to do. We need to get ourselves away, but make sure that while you're doing it, ensure that you reduce as much as possible and as far as possible human interactions with others, within the family and so on. Make sure that the people are protecting themselves by wearing their mask and making sure that they keep those social distancing. So we are going to get down right into our business, because we want to open the lines and we want to hear from you how it is that you are, celebrating this time or not. How it is that, what is it that you're doing, how you're making out, what you think the government should do, and what we could tell you in a very short while. We will give you an update on the National COVID Cash-19 grant, and there's some major development and statements coming from the government. Remember, you would have been saying about the people who are tenants and maybe extended families living in one house and so on. I'm going to read to you what the statement is that has been issued by the government last evening, and this is going to give you some clarifications, and of course not make a lot of people happy, but it is what it is, and I presume that the government is looking at that entire situation as we go forward. It's not an expense, it's not a cheap venture by any means, the sharing out of cash to all citizens of Guyana. We're talking here more than 200,000 families right across this lands, and some of them are living with other families. And of course, where do you draw the line? While some families would have gotten either by collaboration by some crooked staffers and some policemen as well, others would have been very claiming that they were unfairly left out, and then they don't have any idea where it's coming from. And so we're going to read to you in a very short while. So it is December the 21st, 2020, and we have lots of things to tell you today. Like, for example, the chief elections officer of the Guyana Elections Commission, Keith Lowenfield, is on leave as we speak. He has been on leave since September, and nobody really knew. He applied for leave according to the GCOM chair, and this is Justice retired Claudette Singh. And he was on leave for a couple of mornings since September there, due to come back at the end of January or maybe the first week in February there. Because there was a lot of speculations whether he was sent on leave. Well, there's a statement that came out from GCOM this morning, which has clarified that no, we did not send him on leave. But he is on 146 days leave, and you and I know what that really means. Whenever you're on leave or sent on leave or so on, it has been used in the past in certain ways, and at the end of the day, this would come at a time when the Private Sector Commission has called for all charged GCOM officials to be removed from the Guyana Elections Commission before any local government elections are being held. And this is coming out of a statement just over the weekend there, and it is in Kaieteur newspaper today. So very, very quickly, we have a couple of other things that we'd want to talk about. We did talk to you there about the traffic. We're going to come back to that. And today happens to be a very significant day in the whole scheme of things when it comes to the history of Guyana. 2 years ago, on December the 24th, well, a couple hours ahead, if you're looking around 9 o'clock in the evening, something happened in the National Assembly which basically upsetted the status quo of this country here. And that was the no confidence motion, in which one man named Charandas Prasad, an attorney at law, decided that he is not going to play ball with his party, with the coalition, and he decided to use his one-seat majority to vote against a no-confidence motion in favor of the opposition. And by so doing, a motion was carried which toppled the then coalition government. It's 2 years ago today. And within a few hours, if you want to be exact, within around 9 o'clock or so, 9 p.m., it would have been 2 years, almost at the same time. So that is significant. So I did see some on Facebook and around the place. There's some people saying, Happy Charandas Day. I'm not sure. Where are you, Charandas? What's it that you're doing? We know that he would have left here on the security, under the protection of the Canadian High Commission. He would have asked them, because he was a Canadian citizen. And that also brought into play the fact that if you're sitting in government in the National Assembly, you cannot you cannot have dual citizenship and sit there. You have to be Guyanese. You have to be sworn Guyanese and only Guyanese. And his situation there would have raised that very specter. Saw several court cases happening. So Happy Charandas Day, some people would have said there. So it's December the 24th, 2020, and that is that's where we are, a couple of days before Christmas. And I would tell you that we're coming to you live from our Saffron Street studio here in Georgetown, Georgetown. If you're in Escobar, Demerara, it's 99.1 FM that you could catch us on. Berbice, it's 99.5. I want to say a beautiful day to all our people right across this land. Little overcast, but guess what? We have to make the best of it. And so if you also coming to us from overseas, it's Kaieteur News Online. You'd see the radio tab there. Just click on it and you're going to hear us playing. And it is also on Facebook, Kaieteur Radio on Facebook, or Kaieteur Radio live stream on YouTube. And we are getting into the hang of things here today. And so yesterday's newspaper, December the 20th, us being missing, we have to read what the headlines are saying. Oil-rich South Sudan trapped in dangerous cycle of death. Let's pay attention what is happening to other countries that have oil. Today's 1 year anniversary for oil. That was yesterday. Our leaders still to put 30 safeguards in place to protect Guyana dollars. and they have to pay attention if you really want to ensure that we get all the dollars from that oil and not be robbed by ExxonMobil. They're saying that these are the tortoise safeguards, and not. I think Kaieteur News are quoting several experts here, and including financial institutions who would have been doing assessments on Guyana. EPA's authority to correct Exxon's outdated Liza 1 permit now. There's an opportunity here, the story is saying, for Guyana to, although it's a done deal that you sign this deal with them, that for you to be able to sign, to pull them in and says, look, we want you to have insurance. We want you to have insurance there on that Liza Phase 1 as of now, until for the next couple of years, maybe for the next 2 years or so. Guyana remains unprotected in the case of a major oil spill. And you know what happens when there's a major oil spill. Somebody has to pay. In this particular case, it is the people of Guyana, the taxpayers, the government of Guyana, which will have to find the money and to pay to any damages to any other country that would have been incurred as a result of oil spill. And you know where when you're drilling in waters, the water goes to all places. Fish are killed and so on, and so many things. Tourism could be affected because of oil in the water. Halt all promotions. Cops with pending matters, say to Police Service Commission. And these are about 7 senior officials within the Guyana Police Force are saying you can't do any promotions right now. And the lawyer have written the Police Service Commission stating that for a number of years, a couple of senior cops, one of them at least, the best cop I understand, would have been saying that they can't get promotion now. The police hierarchy wants to go ahead with promotions, and they said they can't get it right now for the simple reason that we have some cases that we've been investigated on. It's dragging on. And it's unfair for us that if those cases are dragging on, that we should be penalized by the fact that we're not being considered for promotion. And so that's where the case is. That's what the story is. Thief nabbed in superbet, cash recovered. And so he ended up in the place after it was closed. People heard noise, and I think it's somewhere up in the west coast of Demerara there. And so around this time, be very careful, pay attention what's happening. Do not have tunnel vision. Pay attention, be very much aware. So President finally leaves audit of COVID, promises audit of COVID-19 cash grant. And this is something that a number of persons would have been calling for. They want to have a clear idea whether there was an equitable distribution of this COVID-19 or whether something hanky-panky went on there. And there has been questions and statements made by members of the public. Those that have received it kept largely quiet. They're happy that they received it, but there are many others who did not receive it. Was the proper methodology used? We don't know. The authorities are saying yes, and we are coming back to you. But I'm going to read that statement in a very short while. New High Court rules result in speedier trials, but delays in production of court orders. What this case is saying is that when the judge make an order, there's been major delays. There's been major delays in having those orders that was made by the judge in the High Court being finalized. And so the High Court, this is a place, you'd say there's a very old saying in Guyana and around the world: justice delayed is justice denied. And if the court system does not work in time, it could have a lot of impact, ripple effects on the actual cases in itself. And of course, for the final justice for the persons who would have wanted justice in the first place. Grandmother and child 2 dead after river mishap. This was a case that tore my heart. They were going, but it goes to show you, when you drink and you operate heavy machinery or boat or cars or vans or whatever it is, impairs your judgment. And in this particular case, in the Lower Pomeruna area, which is not monitored like out in the coast here, man was on his boat. He and his wife went to drink, and they tug along the grandchild. 2. And the boat, while coming back, because people use boat in those Pomeruna area there, it hit something, and the boat went, it overturned. And the mom and the grandmother and this man here who was pushing the boat, the grandfather, happened to have made it out alive. He's in custody at the moment. Auditor General recommends police investigation Sussex Street drug bond. A couple of years back, you could recall almost like a bottom house kind of house that was rented, bought, and immediately got a big contract for it. You and I would want such a sweetheart kind of contract, right? With 12, $13 million in rent per month. Do you know of anybody who is collecting those kind of rent per month? Let us know, because I want to get into those kind of business. But the Auditor General is saying under the coalition something went wrong. I am handing this matter over to the police. He's done a probe which has found that the police should investigate, and if they find anybody, to charge them. And they would have found them a couple of things, including some reported conflict of interest there. No end in sight, as Exxon continues to pollute Guyana's airspace, and this company here, ExxonMobil, was alleged to have or is reported to continue to flare there, and so. And then there's a lovely picture here, not too far from Kaieteur News, a minibus on the bridge, the bridge, the shoulders of the bridge. There's that big support there, and the minibus rode up on that. Apparently, it tried to avoid some other car. But the only way that you could do that, you can't tell me that. I got to be very stupid to buy your story. The only way you could have gone up in there is if you were speeding. And that's what the Guyanese Fast and Furious drivers are doing on this road here. This morning, I stopped the car. An ambulance was coming full speed right along the East Bank there, right in the Rheinfeld area there. And everybody made way for the ambulance. And the car, a beautiful car, was speeding behind the ambulance. Well, Gildarie, being the bully that he is, stepped out in front of the ambulance, and meaning that I was driving to, and I just go behind the ambulance and blocked his path, because I don't know where he was going, and I'm not sure what would have happened had he continued at that rate. And somehow or the other, he came along the vehicle, wind down his window, and he was shouting to me. But of course, being the old guy that I am, I can't see properly and I can't hear properly. The windows are up, so I didn't pay much attention to him. And apparently, he was very angry. He was trying to inch up on me, and I wasn't paying attention. Mahaica Golf Estate developers offering free condo electric cars, and this is they are at the Giftland Mall there, and they're saying that they're very aggressive because they want to build. It's an ambitious project in the Mahaica area there, by the seaside area there, and they're saying they're going to build something that is going to be protected and very beautiful, with hospitals and shopping areas and golf course, which is world standard kind of thing. So we are going to be paying attention. And then a diamond man dead after struck down with housing ministry pickup. The drivers claiming that the man stepped out in front of his thing there. So let us see what happens. And Kanu, I'm not sure. This is a strange story here. Kanu seizes 188 pounds of ganja in Dartmouth, Esquimalt. Woman among four arrested. But here's the story here. It's about 188 pounds, but the marijuana seems not to be from here. It seems to have been brought from some other place, maybe Venezuelan. So it has a British flag or something stamped on it that look like a British flag. So I'm not sure what happened. Are we importing ganja into the country now? I thought they're producing a lot of ganja here. So that's the story there. And this according to the latest COVID-19 cash grant. 299 million distributed, almost 12,000 households reached in Region 4. 1,170 pink slips filled out. So that's a story there. Let us go very quickly. There's some other things. Multiple charges for the Henry Boys family in driver's license drama here. And if you don't know who the Henry Boys, those two boys that were killed, three persons were killed, three teens were killed in what seems to be a feud that was happening there after these two boys were killed. And the families, two of them are charged now. That's because when the police stopped them for the driver's license, one of them decided there was an altercation. The matter is before the court right now, and they were slapped with multiple charges. And it raises the argument about when you need to produce a driver's license, the abuse by police officers and drivers. So many things this case has raised there. So we will continue to pay attention to that one there. And very quickly, it is just about 1:27. We will look into the Kaieteur newspaper in a very short while of Monday, today's newspaper there. Let me ask my thing. Are there My apologies there. I had to ask my operator there's something. Got to make sure because we want to open the lines in a very short while. 6222222 is where you send those messages to. And of course, you could call us on 226-7453. In a very short while, we will open the lines just after about 1:30 thereabouts. But Exxon continues to tout unverified local content figures. And they're saying how much things they're doing in Guyana, but they don't provide those figures. They're just saying, oh, we would have given $2 billion in business into the Guyanese people. And when you ask them to produce it, well, those figures are not forthcoming, and it seems to be missing. It seems to be somewhere in the figment of somebody's imagination there. Guyana can plunge itself into more debt even with oil money, IDB quarterly report. Private sector commission wants charge GCOM officials removed before local government election. Gas injection equipment finally fixes Exxon. So doesn't mean that you're going to ease up flaring there, Exxon. We are asking you. Home destroyed and Eccles blaze. And so I did see this yesterday morning. Be very careful during this Christmas, my people. It is not a good thing when we leave our house, especially with fairy lights. Fairy lights, those beautiful colored lights that blinks. Make sure that it is connected. If you're at home, if you're going to bed in the night, take it off. You should only have it on, and just always be very careful. If you got to do stuff around the yard, make sure that you pay attention on what's happening in your house. And as always, know where your main switch is. In a house, always know where your main switch is, because that's a way of throwing power very quickly off. And maybe you could reset things, because if the power is on and you're trying to douse some fire, electric in nature, things could go south very, very quickly. So make sure that it's a rule of the thumb. Make sure you know where your main switch is, so you could be able to flick it off. And it doesn't take a genius to be able to know how to flick it off. On, off. That's just it. Local oil services company planning region 3 cement plant. These are all good things when it comes to development of Guyana, that we need to see local people start building the capacity. And we've done a special op-ed, which is opposite the editorial of the Guyana's political opposition is asleep at the wheel on oil. And this would have been written by my colleague Kiana Wilberg. And it's an interesting read. You should pick up your paper today and just have a copy of it. And so right about now it's 1:30 thereabouts. And so we will take a break right now. When we come back, straight into our calls, straight into our comments. Let me hear how you're celebrating Christmas. Let me hear how whatever is affecting you, whatever it is that you want to say about what is happening somewhere near to you there. And we are going to tell you about what's happening across the river, about a set of people who would have been squatting. They need house lots so badly they've gone into a burial ground right on the west coast or west bank of Demerara there. So stand by, do not touch those dials, and we will get into our order of things, into your business in a very short while, right here on the Wake Up Guyana show on Kaieteur Radio.
Public advisory. GPL wishes to advise all customers and the general public that due to the ongoing heavy rainfalls and strong winds, our company anticipates that some communities will experience localized faults. Consequently, customers are advised that our emergency team is on standby to act swiftly to restore power to affected areas. Further, customers who may experience a localized fault are asked to call our 24/7 call center on 226-2600 to report a localized fault. To this end, GPL will continue to work assiduously to provide reliable supply of electricity to all stakeholders.
Kaieteur Radio, keeping you informed.
Demerara and Essequibo 99.1 FM.
Berbice 99.5 FM. Kaieteur Radio.
Yes, and welcome back to the Wake Up Guyana show right here on Kaieteur Radio. And let me tell you, I did see some comments coming up on Facebook there, and it's brought my memories, brought back so much memories. I did say growing up in Enmore, and so, and even growing up on the East Bank, right in the Grove area, Old Grove, before Diamond scheme came into play, and then the Golden Grove new scheme came into play there. And it was going back to those days, it was Christmas time, and it was so many washing and things like that. We got to make sure that all the grass and everything, and so even we had in front of our yard, it was dirt, but you were weeding it, and back in those days, I can't recall if there's a lot of people with weed machine. I think not, but there were people who used to come around and weed with the cutlass, and so people. Two cutlass at the back like a ninja walking around the place, and they come in there and ask, and you want to weed? And it was big business for them, and you'd see those days it was all manual, and it was all very hard work, lots of washing of walls and so on, mixing of cakes, cutting up of the meat and so on, you soaking it down and so. But it was all that preparation for a day, which you look at Christmas Day and said, did I do all of that? Did I do all of that for this particular day? And on that particular day, you had very few ideas what you were going to do, except that it was all a good thing that you weren't working so much money, but you could remember taking that little that you were in the shopping all the time to find that particular shirt or pants that you want to wear. And who would remember splash pants? I think the older folks would remember that there was a whole period, a whole Christmas or two Christmas where there was people who were sewing splash pans and things like that. I remember these people were sending me these things, reminding me of those days. And but on those particular days, it was time to walk in your very best. You dress up around 1 o'clock, and then it was good. Families might be drinking, you going over, and little boys. Remember, we started off, drinking a couple of beers. Then there was some punch with some little brandy or cherry wine or something that Bangs the Heights was making. Had 2 sips of that, vomited my guts, and I didn't really. I'm not a big drinker. Could have a couple of shots or a couple of beer, and that's about it. But back in those days, it was even worse yet. My little brother was drinking more than me. He had a more tolerance for liquor than me, but the whole festive season was something that like I said before, the older folks would have so many memories, and there's nothing like a Guyanese Christmas. I don't care which part of the world that you are. There's something about Guyana, that festivity, that togetherness, that is quite unique to us right here in Guyana. So we will, as of now, do we have a call online? Yes. Good afternoon, caller. You're on the air. Go right ahead. Hello.
Yes. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, my brother. Go right ahead.
I called to make a complaint concerning my neighbor in Essequibo. Have an empty building nearby me.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I the same person they call and tell you about the fence.
Mm-hmm.
When you tell me call them, he say he gonna come and look at it. He sent somebody to take some picture.
Who is he? The owner?
The owner's son.
Okay. Well, that means the one to engage. That's a good thing. And what happened?
Good. He said he gonna come, but he never come. And the same time we take out the picture and send it to him. I take out the picture with a big African bee nest.
All right.
And send it to him too. But these bee getting more molestful. Like before the last, they bite up my daughter on her foot.
No. You need to call the beekeeper and let them remove it, or he need to do that.
No, remember, I can't send nobody in his building.
Right.
I called him yesterday, and he tell me he gonna try and he left it just, but I know he not gonna come. And you see some morning when we wake up early, we go in the kitchen, we can't go because I can't put on the light. They're being attractive to the light.
But I don't know what to say to you except
plenty on the light. I like the night when it bite my daughter. I got the picture when she foot swell up. How much we killed the night and everything for sent to you because
no. That is a very serious thing. Now, if you have a pen and a paper there, I want you to call the Ministry of Agriculture. They got a beekeeping unit, and right away tell them, complain, and tell them to find the people to come down by you. 227.
Yeah, 227.
5049.
227 5049.
You need to call them right away and let us start tracking on it and continue to engage this man here. I don't know what to say because it's a private matter, but you could start with the Ministry of Agriculture there, all right?
Yeah, good. Thanks, sir.
Thank you very much, and you enjoy the season, and a Happy New Year to you.
Okay.
Thank you very much, dear. So it bothers me. It boggles my mind that we actually have people who don't really care. You have your lands, and we have that in our area where we live in there. The people, have the sand full up, and I have my little drains in front that I had to concrete in order to protect my land. And it's not a cheap thing by any means. If you're a poor man working like me, every dollar counts, and so when you see people, neighbors do these things, it bothers you that they can't do the things that is necessary, so you could have your quality of life that you so deserve. But very quickly, we did talk about the update on the national COVID-19 cash grant, which would have been done in every region of this country. Well, there were some issues, and yesterday the Ministry of Finance did send out a press statement, and I'm going to read it to you. And I don't have any answers except that you would make some conclusions based on what they're saying here. The government is saying here, and you will recall that it was the president that says every household is going to be receiving this cash grant. So let me go right ahead into it. The distribution and the headline of it is the update of the national COVID-19 cash grant, and this is coming from the Ministry of Finance, issued yesterday. Distribution of government's national COVID-19 cash grant commenced in the hinterland regions 1, 7, 8, and 9, and then progressed to region 2, 4, 2, 3, 5, and 6, and 10. Subsequently, distribution team commenced the distribution exercise in region 4, and this is ongoing. The cash grant was first announced by His Excellency Dr. Mohammed Irfan Ali in September of this year. It numbered among the range of COVID-19 relief measures designed to bring immediate effect to persons bearing the brunt of the COVID-19 pandemic, stimulate economic growth, put Guyanese back to work, and remove the heavy tax burdens implemented by the previous administration. The cash grant has served as a timely economic impetus and has capitalized business activity everywhere. We've seen how the shops have become a buzz, and put a smile has returned to our people who welcomed the initiative with glowing tributes. President Ali, in his address to the nation, spoke about ensuring the lives of the citizens are taken care of, and this one such an initiative. The president's expectation and that of his entire administration is that the process remains peaceful and free of abuse. Every eligible household will receive the grant, and it is Excellency's expectation that the distribution process will be completed as quickly as possible. The COVID-19 cash grant is a one payment of $25,000 per principal household. This is what they say. Let me repeat that. The COVID-19 cash grant is a one payment of $25,000 per principal household. It is necessary to re-emphasize that the grant is not one per family. We know some households are big, and in some cases, so they're saying it's not one per family. We know that some households are big. In some cases, more than one family may be living in a household. However, where such a situation exists, the distribution clerks and the regional supervisor are required to note such instances, so those families can be taken in consideration in the future. There's no timeline here, right? So they said in the future. The regional distribution team are therefore issuing the cash grants to the primary householder, and the primary householder is a person who is the head of the household there, and wherever there are other family members or tenants, as the case may be, those persons are being issued with a pink form. This is something we know about, which will serve as the instrument to be used to verify those candidates for future consideration. The names, addresses, and contact information of persons who are not at home during the distribution exercise will be collected, and arrangements will be made for them to collect their grants at a later date. Primary householders are required to have a valid form of identification in their possession to receive the grant. A valid Guyanese ID card and a driver's ID card, driver's license, or a valid passport are all effective forms of identification. Two community distribution clerks wearing specially designed COVID-19 identity badges will visit your home accompanied by community leaders, armed police security, and their supervisors. Upon clearly identifying the principal householder, one clerk will immediately issue the householder a receipt for the grant, and the audit clerk will encash the receipt immediately by giving the householder a sealed envelope containing the $25,000. If their other family, and let me repeat this one here, if their other family members of the principal householder living in the same house, those members will be registered and be issued with a pink form. In cases where there are no principal householder on the premises, but all the family resident there are tenants, such family will receive the pink form. In other words, nobody is going to get the money at that house if everybody is a principal householder. Meaning that each of them got a head of a house, and all of them are saying, I am the head of this house. So if there are more than one like that in the family, nobody receiving the money. At the end of the business daily, distribution clerk are required to submit unused cash along with the receipt books for security control. At the end of the distribution exercise, each clerk submits the receipts of the payments to be audited by the regional authorities and subsequently by the internal audit department of the Ministry of Finance. In this manner, there is careful scrutiny to ensure that the receipts used are reconciled with the cash grant distributed. Any discrepancies are investigated and immediately actions are taken. The Auditor General has been asked to audit the entire cash grant distribution. Note carefully, there's no requirement for pre-registration for the grant. The grant is delivered on a house-to-house basis by authorized officials who must be wearing the COVID-19 admin identification badges. Only authorized officials can distribute the cash grant, and therefore there's no fee for distribution. Let me go back there again. There's no fee for distribution. If anybody asks you for a fee, call Gildarie, call the Ministry of Finance, call somebody. If the police ask you to pass something on the site to give it to you, you are embarking or you will be collaborating in some illegal happenings. And if anything happen, you will be liable and you could be charged for that, for fraud. And this is state funds here. So if you know of anybody who's been involved with that and you have the evidence, you should know that the Ministry of Finance, there's a department there that you could call them and you could tell them. But only let me repeat this one here. Only authorized officials can distribute the cash and there's no fee for distribution. Distribution is currently on the East Coast of Demerara and the East Bank of Demerara and Sophia, Greater Georgetown. So that in essence is what I'm saying to you. I hope that you have been able to, it has cleared up a lot of the questions that have been raised. In some regions that they have said they've completed it, they have not gone back to those areas and give to anybody who has received a pink form. You have to wait. The government is going to make that decision. So it is just about 1:45 now, and we go right back to our calls. Do we have any callers? But in the meantime, let me tell you, it's 226-7453. I want to say good day to our people right across this land, all the drivers, all the shoppers, all the housewives, everybody. And if you join us from overseas, a good day to you. Season's greetings. And I hope that you're having a jolly time. And that Santa, if you believe in Santa, I hope that you get what you desire. We might not, we don't all times get what we want, but I think it doesn't stop us from yearning, from wanting something and working towards it. But in this season and time, let's put aside everything and thank heavens that we are alive, that we could live to fight another day, and that you should be giving your children and the family members the encouragement and look at them with love, because when all is said and gone, there are many folks across this country and across the world who are alone, who live in somewhere in the apartment, who live in a house, who has nobody to care for them, to give them some love, to sit down, take a shot with them, and so on and so forth. So that at the end of the day, you have to ensure that we do the little that we can to have an appreciation of what we have. And the appreciation is that we have life. That's the appreciation. It's a big thing. It's a big gift. And I think sometime back I did look at at something. I was looking at television, and it says yesterday was the past, today is present, and tomorrow is a present. So I think I wasn't too sure, but I got to find the exact quote. but it means a lot. Very profound kind of statement there. Do we have a call online? Good afternoon, caller on the air. Okay, we don't happen to have that. So what we do happen to have is a couple of comments here. Good day to you. My goodness, people in New Providence have received not a COVID-19 relief as yet, and Xmas is in a few days. Yes, they are more on the East Bank, the Upper East Bank, coming working the way downwards. Very quickly, hi, good afternoon, happy holidays to you and all the beautiful, hardworking staffers at Kaieteur Radio. Thank you very much for that, ma'am. I agree. I've lived overseas for the past 23 years, and each Christmas I say the same thing. No Christmas can be better than Xmas in Guyana, and I fully agree with this lady here. Good afternoon to you, Leonard. It is with deep frustration that I reach out to you. 2 weeks ago, the Minister of Public Works visited Blackbush Pole to say that the contract was awarded for repairs to be done on the main access road. He said that the contract was awarded a week before his arrival, and surprised that no work has been done to date. He said he even made mention that he will terminate the contract if the contractor fails to start work within 3 days of the visit. 2 weeks later, no work has started. Numerous times I made contact with the PRO department of the Ministry of Public Works to get an update of the contract, but it proved futile. The minister even promised to send a team. Let me see here. To send a team. I engineered the following day to check the dam. That is impossible and was never made into street. Even after numerous reminders, the engineer never arrived. The rainy season is upon us, so we can't even venture out of our home. One minister has the audacity to say that he does not appreciate the ingratitude when contacted for assistance. Well, I'm not sure which minister is this. I would love to know that minister who would have said that. I don't want to believe that no minister said that. And if they did, shame on you if you've done that. We don't expect anybody. That's not the kind of culture. That's not the kind of behavior that we want to foster on any part of our citizenry, especially with the new government in place, which has promised so much. Let's be very serious about it. And I know that cannot be the Ministry of Housing, that cannot be Nigel Darmlal, because these are not people. They show one face, which is a face that I like. And I don't want to believe any minister say that. If you've done that, shame on you. Take it back. Apologize to the people. Highland, season's greetings to yourself and the wonderful family, and to the Kaieteur family as well. A couple months ago, GT&T pole located 6th Street Commons Lots, opposite the Commons Lots secondary school, fell, interrupting landlines in the area. And after repeated calls over and over, the situation remains the same. Please call out the utilities. And this is coming from, is it my cousin Josh Sammy or he says, thank you for my cousin Josh Sammy. Thank you very much, Josh. And what I could say to you, I am going to be sending this to, I don't know, I'm going to be sending this to the people down there at GT&T in a very short while. Nevertheless, they don't contact us. And this person here is sending all the way from Blackbush again. Another Blackbush folder here. Okay. One main concern of the Blackbush Pole, the people at the main access road, the contract was given on November 30th, this is December 24th, 3 weeks after, no work on the way. And this person here, you know, I'm like I said before, I'm going to be sending this to the minister in a very short while. Good day. Please, we begging if the minister can at least grade these huge hole in New Providence. I am going to send this to him as well. You know, a lot of people complain. And it's Christmas time. You need to see some things good. I want to say good day to the people along in Providence area there. Hi, bro. Good season's greetings to you and your family. I just want to know if there's hotels in Fort Island, Wakenham, and like one. Thanks to you and your Kaieteur News family for kind users update with the news again. I got my pep pot me to start the pot go out. I want to say thank you very much, dear sir. I hope that you take your time, make sure that you don't overboil or pressure too much, and then the meat loses off. Got to be a little tough if you want to really enjoy that pepper pot. It can't be too soft, and too. I mean, unless you're old and your dentures is not working there. I'm getting a little old there too, but I'm not aware of Legwan and Wakenham having any kind of hotels there. What I'm aware of is that there might be some good families who might be willing to share their homes there. Thank you very much, dear. I am gonna. Somebody wants me to call them. I am gonna try to do so. 19, Okay, thank you very much for that. Do we have a caller online? Good afternoon, caller, on the air. Go right ahead. Hello.
Good afternoon, Leonard.
Good afternoon, ma'am. How are
How
you
are
doing?
you?
Pretty good.
Leonard.
Yes.
This Oscar, this one we call about 5-6 times.
Let me know what was said about them.
Do you have a Tala and Guyana?
Tell me, what's bothering you or what are you happy about today?
We're happy with calling only today. There's about 2 months I try to call and I get through with you.
Oh, my goodness.
I'm really happy the way how you talk.
Oh, you're happy I'm talking?
Birthday time. And your wife birthday time, you want to wish her a happy birthday. Me for 58.
Yes, I know the grandmother up there.
And my son birthday when the 12th of December.
Okay, happy belated birthday to him too.
But me wish I, never mind. Me wish you and your wife a happy birthday. So your birthday so close. And may God bless I and keep I for his honor and glory. And may I live to see many, many more birthdays coming your way. I live for years and continue to do the good work of.
Thank you very much. And what are you doing for Christmas, Sam, grandmother?
What am I doing for Christmas? Pick me well out, pick me married and gone. Pick me a big cake, them a send. And when Christmas time is around, my children there.
Yes.
5 children, me get one.
All they come by you? All they come by you for Christmas?
Yes.
Very good. I think you know that says a lot. It means that you would have showed them some love, huh?
But as big, 1 blake and a half cake.
Wow.
So much things to eat and me share and get churches and me picnic them neighbors, everybody. Must mind one keep foul and share and give people a lot. Me just do for Christmas.
Well, it's good. I think that those are good things that we see coming from our people. You know, we're very warm people. I've gone places around this world, and we have some of the warmest people right here in Guyana. The best people. The best people. I must say that. So I hope that you enjoy it. Tell grandfather say hello and to all the folks on there in number 58 village.
And love.
Much love, my lady. Much love.
We have to love one another. We have to love our neighbor, our friend. There's so much bad you give a complaint about the neighbor. But me and my neighbor are wrong. We are very good.
All right. Thank you very much, dear.
If any little thing bad, then I got to tell Abby. If anything bad, Abby, I got to tell you. I'm not make war.
No, I just say, well, what to say? Well, I don't want to say it over the thing, but we should all love each other. Don't make war. We should love each other, all right?
Yes,
so thank you very much, my dear. Have a pleasant rest of the day. And if I don't hear back from you, I hope that you have a very wonderful Christmas and a blessed, prosperous New Year, all right?
Me too. We want to wish you all.
Right.
You and your family and the people there in Kaieteur. I want to wish you a happy and a blessed Christmas and a prosperous New Year. Because I don't know when we'll get talk back with you.
All right. One of these days, you're going to see me up there. Have no fear. One of these days. All right?
Be glad to see you.
I can come. I did surprise somebody over the weekend. Yesterday, I went up the East Coast here, and I saw tears in somebody's eyes.
Good.
And I'm very, very happy for him.
That's
but thank you
good.
very much, and have a pleasant rest of the day.
Yeah, babe, you too. Take good care of yourself.
Yes,
right?
will do.
Family.
Thank you. Okay, so all the best to the wonderful people of Barbies there. You know, I have a special thing. It's not that they're a favorite for me. I can't say that, and I would never ever say anything like that. I'm not, I have a level head on my shoulders here. But to Barbies, if you go there, you'd see. I think they would open the whole house and say, "Take my bed and sleep on it." Of course, there's some others and so, but Barbies is a place that the folks there are so wonderful, so hospitable. You go to Essequibo too. I think we have good people in this country. That's all I would want to say. So I want to say thank you very much for that, and so. In the meantime, and I think Raj too. Raj seems to have a little misty kind of vibe going on. Are you crying, Raj? He's not crying. Raj is a wonderful character. I'm going to invite him over by me, and we're going to have some things. And he's a warm fellow, and he's not crying. I like to torment him. I like to pull his leg, but he has such a good temperament that you could do whatever it is that you want with Raj, and there's always a smile. He finds it very funny. and it's a good thing. All the way from India. Good day to you, Mr. Raj. And so, good afternoon. I'm making a complaint for the Wim police station. The police there are beating people even if they're on the road after 5 o'clock. Some people need to deal with this at the moment. So, right away, if the Wim police station is doing that, I am going to be giving you a number there, 651-8326, 651-8326. That is my girl up in Berbice there, and you could call and complain to our reporter down in Berbice here and let her investigate in it. So the Wim police station, what's happening here? We beating people now? How we beating people? There are ways that we can handle the situation. You can't be beating people because they're on the road after 5 o'clock. I mean, I don't understand. 5 o'clock, it's 10:30 is the curfew. Why are you beating people after 5 o'clock? I need to know what's happening here. This is not acceptable. Do we have another call online? Good afternoon, caller. You're on the air. Go right ahead.
Good afternoon. I'm the person called last week Friday.
Uh-huh.
So, the transport.
Yes, what happened?
The transport is Pasad.
Yeah, but we can't discuss this over this phone here. You're going to call me through the switchboard here.
Okay, nobody to call only this number, my God.
2258491.
Yeah, but who could die? I can't see the dial.
Oh, my goodness. No. I have your number.
No,
I have your number. Hey, look. I started talking to a couple of people there. And we are going to think. I did promise to get hold of you back. We're working on it right now. Are you 6195126?
Yes.
I have your number.
I have relatives in Diamond, too, but when you talk off the air, I'll tell you who is there.
All right, Mama. I give you a call. You don't fight. I'm working on this right now.
Could you send that number to Dr. Yug Mahadi? I want to talk to Dr. Vishnu Mahadi.
Yes, I'm going to call you and give you that number too.
Could you give the number to Dr.
Yes, I will. 6195126.
My head is hot, like when you got fever, and my eyes are my ball.
I'm gonna, as soon as I'm finished here, I'm gonna give him a call.
Yeah, so I want to see what recommend treatment for me.
All right, Mama, and you take care and be safe. All right.
The best part in you is hope our rate will be better off next year.
Well, yeah, it's a work in progress. We can never be comfortable. One of the things in life.
You want the station closed, though?
No, nobody's gonna close anything now.
This is 3 years. Nobody listened to it last. I went and it
No, I think it's only last year
and
that
he still had his Diwali program. I enjoy. He really suited it.
Yeah, it's only last year I think that started. It's only this the radio station is probably.
Since the radio station started, and them rare wave. These two stations are here. Lots of thing on.
All right, thank you very much, ma'am. I will be calling you in a short while.
All the best for you all. Hope the new year bring good future for you all.
Thank you, ma'am. You take care. Bye-bye. So I want to say good day to the folks down there on the Essequibo coast as well. Very, very warm people, like I've said before. I feel good. It's a thing, but like I said before, just stay away from Mandela Avenue there. Traffic is a killer there. On if you headed down to Lombard Street there, bottlenecks there. I'm not sure. It happens every Christmas time. But this year it seems to be getting worse. And let me tell you this, prepare yourself for 5 years of it because that's how long it's going to take. Thereabouts to have an alternative road, a road along the East Bank there that is going to be parallel to the East Bank Public Road that's going to take you to the East Coast. And before we have another harbor bridge as well, it's going to take as long as that. So it means that this country here would have to be preparing itself for some very torrid times when it comes to traffic, when it comes to this entire congestion and everything. And we'd have to learn to carpool. We've got to learn to, save ourselves, maybe get yourself a bike or something. But it's not every time that we want to jump in our car to go somewhere. It's convenient. And I know that maybe we just have money to buy a car for the family or something. But we got to find a way in which we got to be innovative. For at least for the next 5 years. Very quickly, let us see what our people are saying here before we go back to the lines here. It's 2 o'clock. Do we take a break right now? We are going to be taking a break. When we come back, more calls, more texts, and I know that everybody's listening. Although it's it's Christmas week, and lots of cleaning people are still tuned in to us, and I'm glad. Very happy that we could be able to keep your company and you are keeping us company because I feel happy as well. So stay tuned, do not touch those dials.
Public advisory. GPL wishes to advise all customers and the general public that due to the ongoing heavy rainfalls and strong winds, our company anticipates that some communities will experience localized faults. Consequently, customers are advised that our emergency team is on standby to act swiftly to restore power to affected areas. Further, customers who may experience a localized fault are asked to call our 24/7 call center on 226-2600 to report a localized fault. To this end, GPL will continue to work assiduously to provide reliable supply of electricity to all stakeholders.
So thank you very much and welcome back to the Wake Up Guyana show here. And let me tell you this. There's one thing that I've noticed this year here, and it has been like that for the last couple of years. Corporate Guyana, the government of the day, they have been increasing the number of toys and the toy drive and hamper drive to the people across this nation. Yes, it's never going to be enough, but it's good when I see corporate Guyana. Although we have a pandemic here, with the making reaching out to the people, we did do something for a foundation in the Diamond area there, and guess what? This year we have many Venezuelans. You can't turn your back on them. They are in our country and they're suffering as well. And it's something that we'd have to look at our authorities as we go forward next year. How do we deal with the migrant situation? And we could talk a little about that at some other occasion. But every single year you see corporate Guyana and some very good citizens without asking. I called a friend of mine this morning. I said, I want a couple because Thursday we are going to be having a special program right here on Kaieteur Radio. And it is going to be, we're going to get a couple of our DJs, we're going to have a couple of our hosts here, right here in the studio. And instead of doing the normal thing, we're going to mix it up. Gildarie is going to drop everything downstairs and tell Glenn Lal, yo, you know something? You stay downstairs there. Today I'm staying upstairs because I want to keep, our people company here right on radio. And we are going to be sharing out. We're going to be talking. We're going to be taking calls. We're going to be having well wishes and, those kind of things. We want to give back to the community as well. And I did call a businessman, and the businessman says, I'm going to give you some things, but I don't want you to name me. And these are the kind of things that I like from corporate Guyana. We're probably going to have some credit being given out to compliments of Digicel and a couple of the others. Maybe we could talk to our people down there at Digicel and eNetworks and see maybe they could give us a subscription or maybe one free connection to somebody with, if you want your cable, then different areas there, and maybe we could talk to them and see if they could probably be able to do that. So there's going to be some lucky winners on Thursday. There's going to be some people who might win some tablets. I can't even begin to tell you, but you know what? At the end of the day, it's time to give back, and that's what we're going to do. And we're going to have all the big names, of course, Shivani's and the WR Riaz right here in the studio. Maybe you could ask a Poonam to even drop by. How would that? So, let us see what we can do. And I hope, I think Pam is asking, Pam wants, and Pam wants us to sing a song. Maybe you could bring across a couple of the people, let them sing a song for us here in the studio. These are things I can't sing. I'm not the best of singer, but we could, we could talk about the somebody, killing somebody foul or something. And about Dave and Ann and things like that. We could do that. We can make some music, make our own music there. Do we have a call online? Good afternoon, caller. You're on the air. Go right ahead.
Yes, Leonard.
Good afternoon, sir.
When you listen to all this thing with police beating people and all kind of thing, the place don't have a location or a supervisor?
I'm not sure because it's an allegation until we could prove it. Somebody just say maybe it's something that happened. We don't know. I don't want to believe that the police would be so stupid to beat them people after 5 o'clock. In fact, I don't want to believe that the police are so stupid to beat people.
I don't know if you ever had that experience, but I had that experience at Wellad police station. In fact, Fort Wellington, a couple years ago. I stand up waiting to get a transportation, and I didn't know the man drunk. The man just came in the station. I said, what are you going to see him for? And this man, this fingering that carried a tiger head, the man gave me one cuff by, I get blackout. I can't forget a thing. Winston Felix was the commander of a B division then. So when you hear people talking about this and that, my brother, put question mark.
Well, I've asked them to call my reporter up there, 6518326. Her name is Melissa. Let them call. And if you have any issues up in Berbice there, call our reporter. She's always willing, to investigate, to make sure. But we investigate. We don't permit anything like that.
No, this Tamatry I spoke about a few weeks ago when you had the GPL people there. The Tamatry is still there. I was trying to catch the GPL people again last week.
606 to 46. 606 to 46. Call her right away immediately after the show here and let us.
Anyhow, one other thing.
Yes,
people
sir.
don't have regard for security people,
No.
Now, MRTC, me and Town Council for New Amsterdam, there's a section called the ban. There's a story, they store all kind of things, tractors, so on and so on. This place is poorly littered. Security, I cannot understand what really happening today. When you go to the town clerk, also saying, thanks for your observation. The people just experiment on people's life, my brother. The main town council need to do something better than what they're doing. They don't have a sink for you to wash your hands before you go in. They don't even have a sink. Things is not easy, nuance. And one thing more, you see the Kanji Bridge people passing, the minister and the president, everybody, is a couple of years well now. Concrete is a thing that breaks from underneath. When you're coming up, the approach is break there. New Amsterdam, you're going over the bridge, it breaks both sides.
Oh my goodness! Well, that's a serious thing. I was there.
It got about 8 inches wide. 8 inches wide. But things in New Amsterdam is because the people quite they're not talking.
No, they need to open them out because I was there a couple of months back and I was looking at the bridge and I marveled. In fact, we were under the bridge and I was looking at it and I said, wow, the things that we could do, what mankind has done, because that's a remarkable bridge too. And I saw how they would have done it, the slope and everything. Driving on it it's a nice thing, it's a nice experience. But yes, it is falling apart.
That's why I'm asking you, come and write the article of Haybody. If you have to go up to Mario, go up to with the place name Kanji Creek, you write a nice article.
I'm gonna come, man. As soon as I get something. Yeah. There's a lot of areas.
Upstairs right down, people taking advantage. Look at the old hostel compound. This week is 1 year I've been to the regional chamber for cleaning Bush Day up to now.
And I'm glad, sir, I'm very glad that you, as a good citizen of Guyana, are noting these things here and you feel good. You're a good citizen of Guyana. I thank you for that.
Thank you very much, man.
I thank you very much for that, my brother. One of these days, I'm going to come as soon as I get some time, and I'm going to see what I could do. But in the meantime, thank you very much. And if I don't talk back to you, I know that you come through pretty often.
I gonna catch you, man.
Yeah, but I want to say enjoy Christmas and prosperous New Year to you, all right?
Thank you very much. Same to you and your family.
You and your family too, sir.
Okay.
Bye-bye. And so it's always a good thing. And, when you see people really care about this place here, we got to give them the kudos and recognize them for, caring. It's a good thing. Responsible citizens. And that's what we need to become. We need to, culture ourselves. We need to foster ourselves in that direction. Push ourselves and start, not just sit down, man. I keep saying it over and over. Do not do that. What you just do is just allowing things, a man, take actions that is going to see, that everybody's going to see, well, if he could do it, I could do it too. And if you start standing up, if every citizen in every street in this country, do not look beyond, do not look to the next village, look at every street, put together, form a committee within that street there and says, look, our job, our mandate is to improve the lives of the residents who live in the street. There's probably going to be a chairman. You could probably, even if you want, you could probably have it registered. In some areas, you have people living overseas from that area there and might be willing to give you some help. But there's simple things that you could do that could uplift the lives. If there's a pothole, instead of waiting until it becomes bigger, you throw some cement into it. And if there's some trees to be planted, you could plant some trees, some nice little ficus plants or Christmas trees or whatever it is that you have there, almond nut or something, as you know it. But start doing something, and it starts with you. It starts with us within our communities. So very, very quickly there, let me see. Hi everyone, the Georgetown Public Hospital is in urgent need of blood. Everybody come and give blood to please help save lives. Thank you very much for this wonderful person who's reached out to us here. If you know that you can and you're within the Georgetown area there, go give a pint of blood there, or if you know of anybody, take along your entire family. I remember one time I went and gave blood, and I got up. My mom was alive then, and she was for my little sister. She was in the hospital, and they said, they need some blood. So I went, and Gildarie being the bully that he is, so as I gave blood, so I drank some Malta, and I get up and I went and sat down to my mom. And that little part where I got up immediately from giving the blood and walked to her and sit down, I'm talking to the woman, and the next thing you know, I start canting over into her lap, and I was there, passed out for a couple of seconds. So you got to be, if you know that you can't make it, but we should all give. It's good. It's not only going to save somebody's lives, but you could be able to feel good. In fact, it does good for the country, which is short on those things. And the blood bank is always in dire need of blood. So we should all start back. I'm going to use this forum here to let's push ourselves to see what little that we can do just turn up at the hospital and find out where it is and just go, man. Just go. For this Christmas time, do something. If you can't give a gift, you don't have the money, give some blood. Give some blood. So thank you very much for that. Do we have another caller in the air? Yes, good afternoon, caller.
Hello?
Good afternoon, caller. You're on the air. Go right ahead.
Hi, good afternoon. This is Radio calling program right now.
Yes, you're on to the Wake Up Guyana show with your host, Leonard Gildarie.
Yes, thank you. This is Anand from Enmore.
Anand, how are you doing, my brother? Go ahead.
I do well for now.
Uh-huh.
Please, I feel a little more pleasant.
Yes, sir.
More happy.
Yes, sir.
I hear a lot of call about police. Yes. Is who pass it? Yes, I do, good sir.
So go ahead. You're on the air. You need to turn off your radio because the radio is giving you feedback. Go ahead.
All right. I get far from the radio.
Yes.
Yes, sir. So what happened? A lot of people calling about police. Of course, we have some good. 1 minute.
Yes, sir. And
Turn off the radio there for a minute.
if you're calling us on radio, make sure that you turn your radio down because you're going to have different signals coming in.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
You hear me now?
Yes, sir. I'm hearing you very clear.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Yes. Police in the whole is to protect the nation. I do turn it on the television.
Uh-huh. No, you got to turn the thing because you're going to have problems. You want to call us back or something?
You're on in the air now. I get far from it.
No, you will still hearing the feedback. If you're calling, you have to turn it on or turn it off or something.
I turn it off.
All right, good. Well, go ahead, sir. Go ahead. Go ahead quickly.
Yes. On the 15th, I will call back.
All right, thank you very much, dear. I'm really sorry. I really wanted to hear from Anand there from Enmore. He's always been very feisty in the way that he comes across, and that's because he has his own opinion. Well, we are not going to stop anybody from listening on this program here. I don't have that authority. The radio belongs to the people, and we do intend to make sure that they have equitable say in their issues, the commentaries, and so on. So I want to say good week to you. It is Monday, December the 21st, and it is Christmas week. Christmas season is fully upon us, and we coming down. We winding down our days, in which that day we're going to throw back, spend time with the family, have some drinks, eat some food, and, generally listen to some music and have that good time. It has been such a tough year that, we just want to wind back a little, and we should. We deserve it as a people all over the world. If you have had a good hard time, it is the time for you to do it. You don't need a whole bunch of stuff. You don't need a new television, a new car or something. Can't afford that. What we do need is spend some time with the family and say thank you that we are here with each other, and we could, spend some time, as the Christian church or the Catholic church would say, the father is going to tell you, let's fellowship with each other, and spend time and among loved ones here. Good afternoon, leg one NDC. Haven't paid trench cleans for the past 6 months. We need our money for the Christmas holiday. RDC Region 3. What is happening there? Who is supposed to be paying these people here? Leg one NDC. You need to pay the people them there. What's happening? So I'm calling you out there. Greetings, Leonard there. Double lane traffic on these bank road. Big trucks passing, small cars parked on the shoulders of the road. nowhere to pass. We have to ride our bicycles around the vehicles. We end up on the carriageway of the traffic. We could die instantly. Very dangerous. Lots of accidents. And so somebody on the East Bank there, police, what's happening? Everybody needs, we need all hands on deck along the East Bank of Demerara, on the West Bank of Demerara. I know Mr. Watts is not playing across here. Mr. Henry, sir, you are the traffic chief on the East Bank of Demerara. We need you to pay attention there. People are saying badly parked vehicle. If you park in your vehicle, make sure that you do it in such a way it does not inconvenience pedestrians as well as drivers. One lane being closed could back up traffic for miles, and that's how bad the situation is on the East Bank of Demerara right now. And if you're on the Mandela Avenue area, stay away from that. Be very, very careful. And then so we need the Georgetown traffic cops there on the scene and see what they could do. Seasons greetings. Okay, there's a gentleman there in a very short while. Good afternoon, leg one. Okay, that's the other one that they would have said. 1 pint of blood, that's okay for the Christmas. Okay, my name is Farouk Baksh. 1 pint of blood, save life, three life. Thank you very much. And somebody says that they're going to do that. I'm glad. Hi, good afternoon. I'm living on 320 East Bank. The NDC cleaned the drain and they broke the main. The water's coming out from the meter. Can you give us a number to call GWI? I'm tired of calling them. I'm tired of asking them, and so too. You have to find the number, call GWI on, I think it is on Vicenza Road. Use the directory there. Call and ask for the public relations department. They did send it to me, and I can't remember the number because they haven't talked to us there. They have a handle on the situation there. They're very capable, they say. And so GPL is going to be back with us on Wednesday. And as normal, they want to talk to the people. GWI, I don't have an handle on. And you need to call the PR department, call the switchboard, ask the PR department, and say that you've called the radio station there. And you need to do that. Let me see here before we go there. Good afternoon, Uncle Leonard. It's Lavanya Gobin. I hope you have a good day, and I wish you and your family a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Thank you very much, Lavanya and Manny, and there's a girl here. You know, I really like her. Both of them almost like sisters, cousins apart there, and they would have been tuned into this program for several weeks now. I've been texting every so often, and I'm very happy for these two young ladies, reflective of our future in Guyana. Do we have a caller online? Good afternoon, caller. On the air. Go right ahead.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. You're on the air at Kaieteur Radio.
Good afternoon. Does it have a cell phone that I could probably get onto?
You'd have to call through the switchboard after this. 225 8491. Call a little.
225
8491. Call after 5 o'clock.
8491.
Call after 5.
All right. By the way, I just want to make a report and a complaint about the police on the East Bank on Tuesday to Timiri.
Yes.
Now, they have private car working on the road. Poor driver now and getting who lately have their license, they now work in the private taxi to catch a little money. Who have rent to pay and bills to pay and courts to pay. The police then pulling in you and harassing you for private hire. You gotta go and get a hire car book to hire license. Now that process is 2 years, right, to get a hire car book. What alternative would these drivers who only have their license for a year or 6 months or so? What advice you could give to me there?
All right, I could. Very good question. And let me tell you, I went up the road with a gentleman a couple of weeks back with this same situation here. And I must say a couple of things. You want to stay on the line or you want me to answer you off here?
I think if you want to answer me offline, because I know how far the credit will be going.
All right, come off here, and I'm going to answer you on the air. I'm going to answer you on the air right now on that.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. And I want to say a good day to the folks down in the East Bank there. It's a very good question that the woman has asked here. And let me tell you this. Private hire cars, there's a cars that does not have the H on it. And if you're in the P and you want to work a hire car, it's against the law. Simple as that. And I'm sorry, lady, you might not like what I'm saying to you. I cannot sit here and say that because, yes, everybody needs to work honestly. Everybody needs to do something to earn, especially around this Christmas time. When you take a private hire car, which you take that road license out, it's saying that you agree with the government, you agree with the authorities, you agree with the police that you are taking that vehicle to transport your family or friends. When you start fetching the public, and you are accepting money for that, it's a different scenario. It's a different ball game. It means that there's a different license for that. If the police knows that you work in the private hire, it's in breach of your insurance. And therefore, I cannot sit here and tell you that there's any alternative except that that person cannot work private hire because it's a breach of the insurance. If that car gets into an accident, the passengers on that car, in that vehicle, cannot have any insurance, and therefore it's a breach of the laws. So all I could say to you, the people who want to work private hire using the private car, and we have lots of them in Diamond there. The police have a mandate to carry it out, and I cannot tell you anything else except it's a breach of the insurance, therefore against the laws. That person would have to find some other work, and you might not like what I'm saying, but it is what it is. I cannot tell you anything except that I cannot sit here and endanger anybody by telling them that you try to let the police see or give them a break, or so I cannot do that. I could only tell you what is the correct thing. That's what we do here. You ask for advice, and that's what I'm saying to you. The police are not going to know that you work in private hire unless they want you to work and give them a part of those monies, and that means that you're giving them bribes and they're accepting bribes. I cannot be part of that. So I hope that I've sent it out very clearly. The law, like somebody is saying here very clearly, the law is the law, and that's what it is. It's a breach of insurance to be working in a private vehicle, as a hire car, as a taxi, because if there's any accident, the passengers does not have any protection. I'm sorry about that. So I hope that does address that, and there's no alternative to that. So very quickly, let me see what we have here. Sir, good afternoon. Happy holidays to you and the Kaieteur owner and staff. Keep up the good work. I honestly hope we get together and stand up to our government to see the error in the ways, because we've been living with them. Let them do the job, and they fall in line and do the right thing by the citizens who really paying the bills through the heavy taxes we pay. Another issue I personally believe that the country needs is a serious education drive to help to bring some semblance to the awareness and knowledge of those who do not understand the rights of and the government responsibility to them as a citizen. And I think this person is a very smart person. As citizens, you have got to understand your role as citizens of this country, understand what's the role of the government, and the government is not only the president and his cabinet of ministers, it's the people within those offices, it's the NDCs, the neighborhood democratic councils, it's the RDCs, the regional democratic councils, it's everybody else, from the mayor and everybody else. When you get into office and you decide that you want to become a public servant and work to serve the people, you're in essence agreeing that you are going to ensure that when you see your employers, the people of Guyana, that you're going to treat them with respect, and the jobs that you're carrying out, that you're carrying them out to the best of your abilities with transparency and accountability and honesty. Those are three things that is going to be very, very important. Transparency, accountability, honesty. And honesty and transparency and accountability, all they're related, but in their own specific ways. I think you get a message what we're saying here. And I see W.R. Riaz in the studio. Very quickly, W.R. Riaz, what is bothering you?
Nothing much other than good day. Let us all exercise a little bit more caution on our roadways. We've seen or we've heard of some major accidents over the weekend. Started one that I don't have much info on, but it was pretty bad smash up last night, probably around 11:30, just outside the Providence police station as you pass the Shell gas station. That's the that's the Western Carriageway. Heading to town. 2 minibus. One looks turtled. I hadn't a chance to call to get a little bit information on that one. We've heard of an accident out in Montrose last evening.
Yes,
about
I saw Kaieteur news.
About 6:30, 6:20, somewhere there's about. We've heard of motorcyclists and a car or another accident across in Berbice. And these are only the ones that we heard of. So, we're all in a rush. But we got to take time. For instance, it took me a journey from a 5 minutes journey. It took me 25 minutes to get to Kaieteur today. 5 minutes from where I normally be on a day-to-day basis. It'll just take me 5 minutes. Today it took me 25 minutes. The traffic is crazy. Headed to Georgetown on both the Roimvelt access road there, what we'll call the continuation getting into back road, that Roimvelt, that's actually industrial site Roimvelt. That road, it's crazy getting to Georgetown. As you swing Raham and turn, it is crazy getting into Georgetown. Right now, outside of the studio, it's packed going up the East Bank. My point behind this again, if you know you're going to you normally take a 5 minutes, cater 20 more minutes in this next couple of days.
If you don't need to come down to Georgetown,
don't come.
Don't come.
All right.
But people would want to shop. But you're right. The traffic yesterday, Sunday.
Yeah.
I wanted to go up the East Coast. I had to divert. And hold on, this is where you get away from the coffee and up at the Jubilee.
Yes.
Well, yesterday.
Let me give you this happened to me today. I was going to another network and I put the traffic. I was like, okay, let me swing it this way. 1-2 road, and I was there. But this is not a complaint. This is just a reminder for you, the listeners, and a reminder for myself that, we're going to face these situations for the next couple of mornings.
No, for the next 5 years at least.
When I say next couple of mornings, I don't mean, the Christmas rush. But what I mean is that we will be in this traffic situation. And let us not think that, a government could solve this immediately. Because this happens in Trinidad. This happens in Jamaica. This happens in tiny Barbados. Let us not even go down Manhattan or Queens.
Yeah.
All right? Let us not go down Miami. Let us not go down LA. All right? So don't let us try. And I've retracted my preaching. I used to nag on the traffic. Don't get me wrong. But I think the officers they're doing a commendable job. Some may differ, but we just need to understand that the next few years we will stuck with this. What I would like to do is call on the authorities to expedite more roads fast as possible. Let us make this one of the priority. You're making education a priority. You're making health a priority. Let us make road infrastructure, because the word infrastructure goes beyond roads. But let us try. I call on the Honorable Minister, and not an attack on more. I call on you. Let us open our eyes and realize, listen, we need more roads. We have the lands, don't get me wrong. We have the lands. So what we need to do is fix the cross streets. An example, Saffron Street, the street alongside. That one is Saffron before Kaieteur News, right?
There's Saffron Street in front of us.
This one is Saffron. Okay, in Charlestown and Albion, fix those streets.
Yeah,
you know why? Because when we were in these traffic, like what I did right now, as I come around, I park through the cross street in La Penitence and walk across, which is fine. Walk across a minute walking. But my point is that those streets are in a deplorable state. And everyone is using those streets. So we need to fix the Alboystong roads and streets and the Charlestown roads and street, because we're all using it. And I've noticed a bridge that will be bridge in Charlestown to Alboystong has been under construction for about a month now. And it just looks like nothing is going on there. Now, that would ease a lot of traffic, because what's going to happen, one of them who can play smart like me and you, we can swing through Alboystong, and we'll probably come out back till into just before the police station by La Penitence.
Right.
So, these little things really matters, and I think the authorities need to open their eyes and fix these little problems.
Yes, thank you very much, dear W.I. Riaz. Let me tell you a couple of things for those people who are on the West Bank and, of course, on the East Bank. At the East Bank of Demerara there this morning, a vehicle would have collided with the cabinet at the Meadowbank area there. There's a GT&T cabinet there, and what we. Okay, I'm hearing something. Sorry. So what you have is a landline and internet services might be affected because a vehicle has collided with a cabinet in the Meadowbank area. And let me tell you, if you're on the west coast of Demerara, the west bank of Demerara, a major issue has happened there, and that is in the vicinity of the GBTI Bank, the branch at Vredenhoop there. There's a collapsed part of the road on the west bank of Demerara there. They have some of the cones around there, so be very careful if you're in the Vredenhoop area. Well, look out. Part of the road has collapsed here in the GBTI area there. So be very, very careful. We are going to be heading into a very quick break right now. Come back, more calls, more messages right here on the Wake Up Guyana show on Kaieteur Radio with your host, Leonard Gildarie.
Public advisory. GPL wishes to advise all customers and the general public that due to the ongoing heavy rainfalls and strong winds, our company anticipates that some communities will experience localized faults. Consequently, customers are advised that our emergency team is on standby to act swiftly to restore power to affected areas. Further, customers who may experience a localized fault are asked to call our 24/7 call center on 226-2600 to report a localized fault. To this end, GPL will continue to work assiduously to provide reliable supply of electricity to all stakeholders.
Kaieteur Radio, keeping you informed.
Demerara and Essequibo 99.1 FM.
Berbice 99.5 FM. Kaieteur Radio.
Yes, good afternoon. Welcome back to the Wake Up Guyana show here on Kaieteur Radio. We are going to go straight back to our lines. Do we have a caller in the air there? Yes. Good afternoon, caller. You on the air. Go right ahead. Hello? I think we will. Yes, good afternoon, caller.
Good afternoon, sir. I just passed the whole way talking. It's big wrong way at Thorn.
Yes, it's just by GBTI. Somebody sent me the
picture
of it.
I just passed the hole. It's a big hole, so I got to be careful. You got somebody, donkey car driver taking it inside.
No, they got to be very careful. So if you're in that area there.
Right up in the hole. You got a cone. You got 3 cones on it.
Thank you very much, dear, my brother. All the best for the season and for the new year. All right? So good day to all the drivers who are there, and I'm glad that somebody's listening on the radio there. Many drivers there tuned in to the Kaieteur Radio right now. And what we could tell you there, what the gentleman was talking about there, is that right in front of the GBTI branch in the Vredenhoop, West Bank, Demerara, a big hole is developed on the road there, collapse, and I did see it's looking alarming. So if you're not sure and you see those cones, be very careful how you maneuver around it, because you could get yourself into some serious prickle there, as you know what we say in there. Thank you, Leonard. We'll be getting together in the near future. I have an array of issues to discuss with our listening public. The thanks is for the compliments you bestowed to me on my contribution. No, thank you. That's okay. Leonard, do you have any idea how far the cash grant is? Because I'm living in Diamond, but I want to go visit my parents in Berbice. They're far up the East Bank. I think the Suicide Linden area, they're coming down, working the way downwards. I'm not sure when they're going to be in the Grove Diamond area, because there's a big area there. We don't have any idea, and they're not going to advertise it because of security issues there. So right now, let me see what we have here again before we go back to the lines. Good afternoon, Mr. Gildarie. Season's greeting to you and the staff of Kaieteur News. It's good that the gentleman to call the people for people to donate blood. But do you know that the hospital does be making the patient to pay for the blood at a high cost? I don't know anything about that. I'd have to find out a little. If you have some more, please send it to me so I could find out whether that's regular or things not regular in Guyana. The caller with the traffic issue, the infrastructure system is not appropriate for the vast amount of traffic. Yes, I think that's long been concluded. Thank you very much for that. Good afternoon, Leonard, and season's great to you and your listeners. I'd like for you to hear that GPL contractor is installing smart meters on the galvanized pipe. Needs to add another 4 feet to the pipe. This is especially needed for the house on the main road and the electric pole on the outside of the road. Where I'm living here in Tenant, Berbice, they have a shop and there's some big truck that has come here to supply the goods. Now, from the height where the service will be fixed, it's just so dangerously close to the truck enclosure. It happens already in my service when a truck does have high enclosure, just to come in contact with it and tore it off the meters in. So let the Ramatard contractors take note. Thank you very much. Yes, Ramatard contractors, you got to be paying attention. The people are saying that it's too low. GPL, 225-1471. You need to call there and you need to make some complaints or make your recommendations here. They are listening. At least they've told me that they're listening. 225-1471. Very quickly before we go back to the line, saying, good afternoon, sir. Did you follow up on the dress code for the high cars? No, they don't. They, to my knowledge, what they're saying, some minibusses who are part of the unions on the West Demerara area there, you have to wait. But the vast majority are not following it, and nobody's there. There's a union. I'm going to bring the union onto the program here, and we could probably talk to them about that situation. Good afternoon, Len. Merry Christmas to you and your family. This greeting is coming from Olivia. I'm renting, so I'm a tenant. I'm now finding out that if I'm entitled to the cash grant sharing, I'm Olivia. I'm sorry, Olivia. Olivia, I must tell you that the government has come out with a statement and saying if you're a tenant, they are going to give to the landlord. You would have to fill out a pink slip, and then they are going to come back to you. So my apologies, Olivia. That's what they're saying there. Is there a caller online? Good afternoon, caller. You're on the air. Go right ahead.
Hello?
Hi, yes. Good afternoon. You're on to the Wake Up Guyana show.
Afternoon.
Yes.
This is Anand from Enmore.
Yes, my brother. Thank you very much for calling back.
Yes. What I call about, a lot of people complain about police who really face the consequence and problem with police. Who pass through it knows it. And when we're talking about police have to act professionally. Because of the professional misuse of conduct of Enmore, matter forced to court. The 15th of December, I have to appear back. When I go immediately, without many even stand up and ask more questions, sorry, your matter is dismissed.
So that, let me see what you're saying there. They charge you, and when you went to the court.
Charge me for COVID-19. The sergeant of Enmore misused our conduct.
And they dismiss this matter without any explanation, you said?
None more explanation, none even whatever, because there is something wrong.
With the fundamentals of that charge. Did you have a lawyer?
Stand up for myself. It not make sense.
And that thing there, if you had a lawyer, I would have suggested to you that you take that matter and then you sue them for wrongful arrest or charge.
Yes, that still can happen. Not impossible.
Right,
but
sir.
I feel a little more better and much better than before many years ago. You never get the commissioner or assistant commissioner.
No, there's a different air. The commissioners and everybody now, they're a little more circumspect in the behavior.
They come at Enmore Primary School, and I lodge my complaint there. I don't know if it's something draw back that unprofessional way, but I am not hearing you.
No, I'm hearing you. You go right ahead. You talk.
I don't know if that's back, but when I'm at today in front of the police, then hear what the police and say, Minister, I make charge. Of course we know that.
Right.
But there's authorities in levels, so some of them play powerful, like if they ban and grow inside that police force. Police force is an independent body. The independent body is that to see legal proceedings for each and every citizen. They don't act in a part of victimization and somebody pay you as a neighbor and forget to this one and pull them down in the drain. And that's what I know. And I need, that is not all. Some of them, I guess, strip. Some of them get knocked off of their job.
Yeah.
But nobody intends to do this particular person nothing. Because, they don't write down nothing. The honest place dealing with the matter is the police complainant authority at Brigham.
Yeah.
And disrespect that part when they have to go to give some statement and information, and still disrespect that. So I've seen something wrong on the top.
It has to fix it. It's not only the police force, it's almost everything. The ERC, the Public Procurement Commission, so many other things that needs to fix.
Yeah,
but don't stop complaining, huh?
First thing what people in the country are almost doing, resident or whatever, say, the police are complaining, the government, but which we have a lot of
All right, I hear you. What you're saying.
I want to say one more thing, sir.
Yes, sir.
Especially when it comes to GPL. I pay in business rate. Need to change. So whatever you burn or consume, you're going to pay for that. Now they must send the price of bill. Estimate. I say you got estimate people under what? That is murder, you call that.
But you have it. Did you contest that bill?
Yes, we call in to them. They say can't come in. You call in to estimate the bill. The bill going very high.
No, but what you do, you call them in, and if you send a copy of what or a picture of your meter, they could be able to do something about it.
You know what? I'm on the phone. Look, they looking into it.
No, 225-1471. You call the PR department and complain to them and ask them to look into it for you.
1 minute. Give me back that number. 225
1471. Call them right now. That's a public release.
14 what?
71. 71.
One. And thank you.
Thank you, my brother, and enjoy your Christmas.
Have a blessing Christmas and a Happy New Year. I hope 2021 be strong. All these people them who own office in every corner they are sitting, they are being paid by the government and taxpayer money to be professional and act more decency. Now you can't take somebody and say that body is a bad egg and bad egg. Well, then we will continue to get gone the egg every time.
Thank you very much,
So
Jay.
thank
Have a
you.
pleasant rest of the day and good season to you too.
Bye.
Good. So, Leonard, good day. The Honorable Judge let those Haitians walk free in Guyana. Where are they now? Did she interpret the law correctly? The Ponzi Cuban is on bail while my Guyanese brother and sister in remand for joint. When will the upper echelons of our government understand it's the Guyanese force? Every day I pray for my country. But as Glenn Lal says, these morons are selling out to the highest bidder. Enjoy your afternoon. And let me talk about that story there, about the Haitians. Everybody in Guyana knows. And that's where I wanted to become a lawyer for a very long time, and it still made me think about it, that it may be a career change. That I'm still young, relatively young compared to WRES. I'm still might be able to go there. But when you listen to some of the lawyers that we have in this place here, and some of them are my friends, and they have a duty to protect their clients and so on, to give them the best defense and so on. But everybody in Guyana knows that the Haitians that came to Guyana were using here as a stepping stone. And I said from the inception, there's so many things that's wrong with this picture here. This has nothing to do with like the Venezuelan migrants who come into this country and want to stay here. Because we have gone to other countries, so it's okay for you to come because we allow that. The people in need, they're fleeing some dire, stressful times, and we are going to open and welcome our arms. When we had our difficult times in the 80s and the 70s and the 90s and the 2000s, we went elsewhere and people would have welcomed us or at least tolerated us. We have a mandate to do the right thing, the human thing, and do the same. The Haitian situation was a different situation. They were coming here, being facilitated by organized people at the airport there. Placed in specific hideout, how do you say it? Specific places. They change those places from time to time to get away from authorities. Then they're being escorted by police to the border areas. Why would you allow your country to be used as a passageway, as a stepping stone to another country? Brazil complained to the Guyanese people, to the Guyanese authorities, that this thing here, what you allow in your country to become as a stepping stone, it has given us an issue. There was a diplomatic complaint. That much was said by the government. So when you see people say that you allow them or you drop them off, it has nothing to do with any ethnic issues that we have against one set of people. The Cubans are coming here and doing it too. But they have been using this nation here as a stepping stone. They're abusing the privilege that was handed out to them as a people who had needs, that they want to come make a better life, as a stepping stone to another country. Why would you want to do that? Because you must fill the pockets of a few people who want to, it's trafficking whether we like it or not. There's a group who's transporting them. There are many people who might take a different view, a dim view, but if it's going to conflict with the values, the laws of Brazil, who are taking them in by the droves, and they're complaining to us, then we have a right to stop it. So there's a very serious issue when it comes to not only the respect shown to Guyana, because you can't go there. Remember the days when you used to be placed on a seat in Trinidad on a bench, in Barbados on a bench, be required to have visas to go to places like St. Martin, even up to now, to the US and other places. And you want to lower your standards? What is it that you people are doing?
Yeah,
what is it one set of people in Guyana doing? Very quickly,
I think what we need to understand, and this is not trying, I understand human rights and everything, but it's not trying to picking on a side. We need to understand rules and laws that governs a country at the end of the day. Because we can play the big bad wolf in other countries. I've been following this situation. I've not been saying very much on this situation because you see, society today have this mythology that if you speak against certain things because it may not match you all of a sudden on one side of the bench, but it's not that. We need to understand rules, laws that governs a country before making these statements to rile up some section of society. And that is what I'm seeing some of these big name politicians on the other side not the government, on the other side of parliament, they're doing. And it is only going to lead to chaos at the end of the day. And it's only going to lead to a stain on Guyana as a society and a country.
Let me say this to you, W.I. Riaz. I want you to give me one person, and I'm going to put them in your seat here, to come and argue differently that the Haitian situation is anything but organized crime.
Exactly, but I'll tell you what they will do. I'll tell you what they will do. They will never show up.
Of course,
because they will never show up. Because let me give you this: I went to an inbox of one of these guys, who I may consider a friend, and I said, why not let's discuss this instead of social media? You know what he said? Man, I ain't really get it. I said Zoom, you ain't got no time, you just got a little internet. He chose not to reply me.
No, it's a couple of the political people.
Yes, he chose not to reply me.
No, we don't beat around the bush here.
Right?
I'm not saying you're beating around the bush, W.I.R.I.A.S. It's a couple of political people.
Is.
This was organized crime there were elements within the immigration department.
Yep.
That was involved with this,
yes,
together with immigration at the airport.
Good. So now that the current administration, the current government is trying to flush it out, it seems bad. You're hearing the cry about, it's human. I respect it's human beings and this is people we're dealing with. But you got to respect the laws that governs a country.
No. We got to stop it. And I don't care who it is when it comes to standing up for this country. If you want, we could come argue it here. I'm no lawyer, but let's argue it here. I could tell you from institutional knowledge that we investigated it. We went to the airport. We went to Latham. Leonard and myself flew to Latham. We flew to Brazil. We went to the immigration department and says, did any Haitians pass here? Did any Cubans pass here? And they could tell you, when you stop at our side in Latham, they were going to tell you what happened there.
Yeah.
So guess what? They're passing through here. Somebody facilitate. And when you're going to pass all the crossings with the police checkpoint, Kurupukari, Linden, and you mean for tell me that they allow them to go through? What are you going in the bush for? You can't go into our bush like that.
Exactly.
So you go in there with a bus load with a suitcase. Where you going?
Exactly.
So nobody is asking.
Let us use this simple checkpoint at Nikiri.
Right.
Let us use a simple checkpoint at Nikiri. If you don't present your passport legally as you go across, and if you're driving with your own vehicle and you don't have the insurance, it's an issue.
No, you have to take insurance. Those are laws. Those
are laws. So what I'm getting at, why are we allowing you? Well, I come and work in the bush. That's a flimsy excuse.
No, you got to be very serious. You want to protect your country. Don't
exactly.
Do not allow these things. A couple people are making millions of dollars. While you sit there and talking about race issue and ethnic issue, the people who are saying that are the people who are benefiting. Full stop to that.
Yep.
So very quickly, we come down to, we winding down. We're going to get ready for Thursday's show. We're going to tell you a little more about that. and WRE as
Yeah, we'll get some gifts. I know Leonard been talking about it.
Yeah,
and this was an idea from Leonard that popped out just like that.
We
and
have
we
to
will
do it,
capitalize on this. Some gifts. We'll bring almost all the presenters who is available into the network to come. Because like I said, Leonard's show is going to change Thursday. My show will change. So we'll go at least from 1 o'clock straight through to the afternoon, into the afternoon cruise as well. So we'll get everyone participating into a nice family-oriented thing, and we'll give out some gifts. I know you said you were giving gifts, and we're all working on adding to the kitty in terms of giving back.
Yeah, man, we have to do that. We have to make some Guyanese people. You know, they've been with us day in, day out. We have to do that. We have to make some people very happy. It might not be much, but it comes from the heart.
Correct.
So, do you have, Mr. Gildarie, I get a light bill not so long ago. My bill read at $10,560 when I normally pay $6,500. I don't see where the VAT is coming in, but the government says all items at the supermarket. The person is saying that the eggs gone to $1,400. Of course, things are going to go up during Christmas. But we have some vultures in this place here. But if you want to complain about that, the GPL bill there, 225-1471.
Before we go quick, I just got a message from a friend of mine, Ashraf. Ashraf is telling me that we need more police on the road when they're doing these traffic light stops. So what happens in Georgetown, you're seeing one traffic rank let's use this as an example, North Road and Camp, but you have no other ranks on the other side of North Road, just by Church Street there, or you have no other rank at Middle Street. So what happened? They're backing up of traffic. So I need the authorities to look into that, because we all need to play a part in this traffic situation, especially the Christmas season traffic, because that is extra.
Well, this morning I did see a couple of things, and I stopped, I wind down my windows, and I said to the traffic cop, he was on a bike, and he was up and down in the La Penitence area leading to the high bridge.
I saw that even
he was
just
up
now.
Up and down, and he was telling them, but do not stop, keep getting up. And I stopped and I said, you know what? Very good move, and I like the way you.
That is continued. On my way here to the studio, there was one traffic rank just by the market turn where you're gonna turn off. But before that, I saw a traffic rank traverse the opposite lane, and then he came back. He was just trying to hold it within that piece. I saw that on coming into. So that is good credits there, but. All, like you always say this, right hand must know what the left hand is doing. We need it in this.
Yeah, you need radios and things like that. And around the Lombard Street area there, I think the problem that we have is we have some bad parking. The La Penitence area there by Guyana National Shippings and so on there, I think the parking is bad. We should have made those. You can't have no parking. It doesn't matter whether you're doing business or not. Park elsewhere. We have to allow the traffic to flow. Good afternoon, Leonard. I have a line phone over 10 years. I never owe my bill. I always pay my bill every month. I paid my bill last week. And on the 18th of the month, they cut off my light. I can't get any call, and I don't know what is going on with GT&T. If you're asking me what is going on with GT&T, I don't know what is going on with GT&T too. Have a pleasant rest of the day, but call them. You need to call them and find out if there's any way. I'm really, really sorry, because I understand the frustration when you can't be able to get off your lines, can't be able to do what you're supposed to do. Very quickly, let me see. All right, so I think we're down to almost the time of the day when we say goodbye. Do you have any idea where the COVID cash crew are on the East Coast? I'm living in Umbrella, East Coast. I'm right. Thank you very much. No, I think they were in the Cove and John the last time that I heard. Good afternoon. Can someone please address the issue of 31, 32 and others driving in front of the line heading to the Harbour Bridge cause the lines to back up hardly more? They're doing it in front of the police. Well, the police need to take actions here. Mr. Watts on the west bank of Demerara, west coast of Demerara, what's happening there? They say that the 32 and 31 minibuses are in and out of the traffic illegally. And, when you talk 31, 32, I thought you were talking about 2 years back, because today happens to be Chandas Day, the day of Chandas, or Chandas National Day, according to some cynics on Facebook there. Because 2 years ago, almost a few hours, give or take, Chandas Prasad, an attorney at law and an MP for the Alliance of Change, would have voted against his party and voted against the coalition in a confidence motion that toppled the coalition, that heralded a series of events which held us up into elections and delays of elections. So that day is December the 21st, 2018, December the 21st, 2020. 2 years later, where are we? how it is that we are living now. Are we in a better place? Maybe tomorrow we can have a discussion on that. Right about now, it's time to say goodbye because just about 5 minutes to 3. It's the Wake Up Guyana show. We would have been coming to you live on the Saffron Street studio, from the Saffron Street studio here in Charlestown, on 99.1 in Demerara and Essequibo. And if you're in Berbice, 99.5. A good day to all our wonderful people across this nation and wherever you join us from overseas. Every single day, it's a fun thing having you on board. This has become such a very serious program, but we've also become like family as well, which is a good thing. These are the kind of things that we should, foster as we go forward and build our people, build them up, encourage them, build our capacity, and make this country into a better place so the world could look at us and say, those are wonderful people. They're giants in their own field. So if you've missed this program here, you could get us on Kaieteur Radio on Facebook or Kaieteur Radio live stream on YouTube. So in the meantime, I want to say thank you very much for joining us. We will be back with you tomorrow. Don't forget, on Thursday, very big day here for us on Kaieteur Radio. We are going to have an afternoon session. You will not forget because we're going to have our boys in the studio. We're going to have some songs. We're going to have some singing. Whether we can sing or not, we're going to be doing something. But a couple of people out there are going to be very happy. And we want to make you very happy. It's a little that we can do to give back to the people of Guyana who've been with us through thick and thin, especially during the elections, and for making us the #1 radio station right across Guyana. Thank you very much. Have a pleasant rest of the day. I'm your host, Leonard Gildarie of the Wake Up Guyana show.